Welcome back guys, Alex here, another video. Hope you're all well. Now before I get on to the meat and veg of this video, which is pickups and we'll do a bit of gameplay, a bit of Q&A, I just want to touch on a subject that's been kind of bothering me for the last few weeks, and it's been ever since the Nintendo Switch was announced. Seems to be a lot of hate going around about a console, pretty much, really. I mean, what else is it? I mean, is it a nuclear bomb they made? Is it some guns they've made? No, it's a console. Yet people on podcasts, Twitter and YouTube seem to take it on themselves to kind of spew out all this vileness about a company that really at the end of the day is just trying to entertain us. And I don't understand it. I mean, you know, it hasn't even been released yet, and already people are just giving it the thumbs down. I don't understand. You know, give it a chance. Give it time to get out, get established, and then the third parties will come on board, hopefully. I mean, all I'm hearing at the moment is it's a load of rubbish. All Nintendo do is make games for kids. Well, my son plays a PS4 and all his friends at school play the Xbox and PS4. Are you telling me that these companies don't take them into consideration and just make games for adults? Of course they don't. They make games for kids as well. It's just that now everyone is so snobbish about graphics, having the high-end graphics, the fastest running game. That's so important to them over gameplay. You know, and I hear these people running through all the games they've played. None of them have finished any of the games. They just want the latest one all the time. And then if it's no good, they stop playing it for an hour, move on to the next one. Whereas me, like, I'm kind of old school, really. I'm a bit like, you know, back in the day when I was Super Nintendo, I had, what, 3 games? And I played them and played them and played them until I finished them. And then moved on to the next one because they were so expensive. You know, if I wanted another game, I had to trade in one of my best ones. So I'm kind of like that, you know. I just try and stick with a game and finish it. Okay, if you know maybe 15, 20 minutes into the game whether you're going to like it or not, fair enough. It's not a very good game, but I do like to try and finish my games if I can. And you know, all games are made for kids at the end of the day. These arcade machines were made for kids. You know, I remember queuing up in the day to play these games, and you'd have an Asteroids, a Space Invaders, you know, Donkey Kong. We didn't care what manufacturer made them. If it was a good game, we just put money in it. And if it wasn't, we didn't. And next week, it'd be out of the arcade. You know, these games were made for kids. You know, it's really just a nostalgia thing for people like me now to literally have these games. You know, to reminisce back in the day when I played them. Because, I mean, I remember as a kid playing this and Donkey Kong. Brings back fond memories. But, you know, they're great games. You know, they've got so much replay value. You know, when you're competing for high scores, there's so much fun. And, you know, that's the whole thing with retro. With the Super Nintendo games as well. They're nice games to go back to. It's a quick little fix, and I like that. Whereas a lot of modern games, they take so long to complete. You know, some of them are 100 odd hours long. You know, sometimes I just ain't got time for that, guys. Unless it's a really, really good game, I will play it for that amount of time. But, guys, you know, when I've got so much stuff in here, I think to myself, if I get a PS4, I ain't going to finish any of these games. But you know what? I really do want a PS4. Don't worry guys, I'm never going to do reviews and pickups of, this is solely a Nintendo channel, but I will be getting a PS4 because there are some games I want to play on it, like Blood Bowl, and I want to play The Witcher as well. There's sort of turn-based excuse me, RPGs I quite like, so I'm quite looking forward to playing UFO, Enemy Unknown. But other than that, I'm not really into all these kind of open world kind of Grand Theft Auto type game. It doesn't appeal to me. I want a game designer to draw me a world that I can escape in from the grime and crap that I have to deal with every day going into London. And Nintendo do that for me, guys. They really do. They're a colourful company. They make great characters, and it's a fun world to be in. And you know, okay, they do make some games for kids, but so does the PS4 and Xbox. But what Nintendo really need, and that's what valid point most people do pick on, is they do need third party. But guys, I really do think that the Switch is going to bring that, because the 3DS, the handheld console, has done so well for them. It's sold 60 million units, and now that their R&D department that worked on a lot of games for in-house for Nintendo, and now they're kind of merged with the console R&D department, will be developing games solely for the Switch. So I'm hoping now, and you've got to give them a chance, guys, we're going to see a lot of those games coming onto the Switch. So less of the hate, guys, less of the hate. Let's just give it a chance. I know you subscribers out there, because I'm a Nintendo channel, you probably agree with me, but if there's any Sega guys out there or Xbox guys, you know, just give it a chance, you know. You never hear me slag off any other consoles, because for me, I used to own pretty much every single console at one stage, but I just decided to concentrate on Nintendo. But you know, there's pretty much 10 good games on every console out there that anyone wants to play. You know, the Sega Mega Drive's great, the PS2 was brilliant, PS1, Atari 26, if we want to go back that far, had some good games. They've all got great games. At the end of the day, it's the games you want to play, isn't it? You know, I don't really care what the console looks like. As long as it's got games on it, I'm happy as Larry, guys. Anyway, what have I been up to? Let's move on. I actually went up to the EAG, which is basically a trade fair in London a couple of weeks ago, which I had a fantastic time. Went up with my mate Victor, met up with Ollie and Roger, and we played all the latest games. So this is a trade fair, basically, that's been going for 30, 40 odd years. So all the big companies like Namco, Bandai, Nintendo, all used to showcase their latest games at this trade fair for operators to buy. And it's still going on today. So Nintendo were there with their new Cruising Blast driving game. Do you remember Cruising USA? Well, they got a new one out called Cruising Blast. It's a beautiful looking cab, guys. And they had Luigi's Mansions there. Luigi's Mansion, which I wasn't that fond of, to be honest with you. I found the game quite boring. You've got the vacuum like you have in the 3DS game, but I just find it a little bit lackluster. There wasn't much action going on. I found it a bit boring, but beautiful cabinet, it really was. But the highlight of the event was meeting some stars out of Only Fools and Horses. They were there, actually. I didn't even know they were there. They were promoting this penny pusher, which had the Only Fools and Horses theme. And I'm just having a look around the actual machine, and then I just looked up and I thought, I recognise you. And it was Cassandra out of Only Fools and Horses. And there was Denzel there, and Raquel, you know, Del Boy's wife. And I thought, oh, blimey, I recognise you. Straight away I said, all my mates were sort of standing around just staring, and I thought I had to chat, I can't just stare at them. So I said, oh, do you mind if I have my picture taken? Yeah, sure, if you don't mind just putting a tenner in their charity box. Yeah, no problem. So I did that, got my picture taken. Have a look at this. So awesome, absolutely lovely, lovely people. I said to them, you know, when you're coming back, she said, well, you know, our writer died, John Sullivan. So there's not much chance of that at the moment. I said, yeah, that's a shame, it really is. But, you know, she said, you've got all the videos there to go back to. I said, yeah, you're right, they are classics, timeless classics. Only Fools and Horses, really enjoy them. But anyway, yeah, it was an absolutely brilliant time. Played the big screen Gallagher game, which I've got a little video of. Have a look at this, guys. He's winning. So yeah, that was absolutely unbelievable. Really, really cool game. You could play Pac-Man, so you could change the game, so you could see the Pac-Man running there. And it's kind of like a dot matrix massive screen, and it's so much fun. It plays just like the original, so really cool. Had a fantastic day. It's free to go to, guys. If you ever want to go up there, it's every January. You just have to fill out a little form, and it's free to get in, and all the games are on free play. But it's all modern stuff. They've got pinballs there as well. They did have a kind of an old section of arcade machines there. I did have a go on Donkey Kong and Centipede, but it's mainly all new machines. So it was cool. It's always a fun day out, a day off work, which is always fun. Anyway, yeah, so other than that, that was it, guys. So without further ado, let's get on to the old pickups. I've got some fantastic bits and bobs to show you today, guys. A real mixture of new and retro. Some NES, some DS, some Wii, a nice figurine. And I managed to pick up a real good bargain on an old retro console. Thanks to Retro Dave Nintendo. But first of all, what have I been playing, guys? Well, I've been getting my teeth into Shantae the Pirate's Curse on the 3DS. This is a brilliant game. You can get this on the PS4 and Xbox, guys, if you got that. It's a really fantastic game. Makes it for a great handheld game. It's a real cross between Castlevania and Metroid, so Metroidvania if you like. But it's absolutely brilliant. A lot of humour, great story. And it's a real action game, you know. So you can use your hair to whip your enemies, or you can get pickups if you get enough money together. You've got to go around collecting all the jewels. You can upgrade you can get a gun, you can upgrade it. So there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of RPG elements to it, which I like, and it's just a fun little game. Really enjoying it. About halfway through, really enjoying this game, guys. If you can pick this up, it's quite hard to find on the 3DS actually, so I don't know whether this will be like a hidden gem later on in life, but really cool game, fantastic. I think you can get this on the Wii U, a physical copy, but I think it's for the US only, which is a shame. But I actually prefer it playing on the handheld anyway, because the DS is one of my favourite consoles anyway. Next up is another game I've been playing. These are the only two games I've been playing, and it's Gunsmoke for the NES. And I've got to thank Retro Dave for this as well. He sold this to me. I think he's got an upgraded box version. I'm quite happy with the cart. This is a great game. Got into it straight away. You know with a retro game, whether it's good or not, within the first 5 minutes, don't you? Unless there's some kind of hidden mechanic you don't know about. This is just a fantastic vertical shooter. And I didn't think I'd like it, because I was never a fan of the arcade version. I thought it was really hard. And I didn't know how this was going to work, because the arcade version's got 3 buttons for vertically shooting up and left and right. And the NES, of course, has only got 2 buttons. So how's that going to work? Well, to shoot vertically up, you have to press both the buttons at the same time, which is a bit of a ball ache, because your hands get cramped after a while. But really enjoyed it. Managed to get to the 3rd level. In fact, here's a boss that I managed to defeat. Have a look at this. A level 3 boss. Come on, let's have it. Some engine. We've got an engine. Cowboys and Indians. Come on, let's have it. I'm going to swap weapons. Let's have Magnum. Oh, yeah, that was easy. Oh, that's level 3 boss, guys. So yeah, really good game, guys. And I had a little competition with Dave. I thought I'd got a really good score, and then within an hour later he's texted me with his high score and he's whipped my ass. So Dave, I will be getting my own back, mate. It's a cracking game. Definitely going to go back into that. Next up, another NES game. I just took a pot shot on this on eBay. It was going for about £10. I thought it was a shoot 'em up. It's got to be worth getting. I didn't get into it really. I thought it was a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. But it's got some cool box art here. It's called Guardian Legend for the NES. It was alright, but I couldn't get into it really. Just didn't appeal to me. But maybe we'll do a little gameplay of this later on, and I'll show you what it's like. And you decide for yourself then whether you want to buy it. But still, another game for the collection. Now we're moving on to the modern stuff, the DS stuff. Now I've got a load of kiddie games here. These were for Retro Chef Lee. Did a little deal with him, and he sent me Project 02 for the Wii. Now, I really enjoyed the Wii U version, but I did have trouble with the mechanic of the pad. I didn't quite get on with it, to be honest with you, but I've heard this is actually supposed to be the better version, so I thought I'd give this a go, because I do like the horror games, and I did like that game, but just the pad, and I think that's been half the trouble with the Wii U, is the pad, really. You know, with Star Fox and stuff like that, they should have just made it straight arcade shooter, and it would have been a hit. But so I'm willing to give this a go. I just like the atmosphere. It's really, really scary. But I think I've heard it does get a little bit repetitive, but still very cool to have it in the collection. Another kiddie game. Silent Hill Shattered Memoirs. This is supposed to be awesome. Konami game. Loads of atmosphere. I haven't played it yet, guys, but I'm just reading off what I've heard and read about this, and I'm really pleased to get this in the collection. It's supposed to be absolutely brilliant. Silent Hill Shattered Memoirs. Memories. So really looking forward to that. So thanks for that, Lee. And he did throw in Sonic Unleashed. Now, sorry, Lee, I'm not a fan of Sonic at all. Nothing against the character. I like Sonic as a character, and I like the kind of world and the music, especially of the old Mega Drive games, are really good. But the mechanic where it kind of pushes you through the level, I've never really got on with. I like to explore and take my own time and look at the scenery. You just don't seem to get the time in Sonic. Everything moves so fast, but I guess that's the appeal to a lot of people. To me, I just don't get on with it. Simple as that. But I'll give it a go. Maybe Isabella will like it. But Sonic is a cool character. Just not my type of game. Next up is Pikmin. This was a little charity shop deal for £1. I had to pick it up for £1. The box and the manuals, everything's there. All looks mint on the surface, but this looks a little bit kind of well used. I haven't tested it yet. Might be well worth testing. But if any of you guys want it, then just give us a nod. Because I actually already do have it, but I couldn't leave it there on the shelf in the charity shop, especially when it's a Nintendo game. Next up, we've got some DS games, guys. More kiddie games. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor and Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2. Now, I don't know whether I've played any Shin Megami Tensei, but I've heard brilliant things about them. All Atlas games. They're kind of like a cross between the Persona games. Have you played them, guys? So you've got a Persona in the game, which is kind of a devil or a demon, and you can upgrade him. Obviously, that is big part of the mechanic of the game, but I've heard really good things about it. It's got a fantastic story. It's a bit like Final Fantasy, really, but with a kind of more adult theme about it. But again, I got these for a really good deal. I think I paid £25 for the two of them, which is a good deal. And I think they're going to be great games. I think I'll give them a try, and I think they're going to be really good. So I'm pleased to pick these up. Great manuals in these, guys. Look, lovely thick manuals, which I love sitting there reading through these. You know, just screenshots, that's all. But still, I just, bring back the manuals, please. I hope they do it with a Switch. You just feel like you're getting your money's worth when you've got something like that in there, don't you? But yeah, I'm really chuffed to get them, actually. So yeah, Devil Survivor 1 and 2 for the DS. Next up, another kiddie game. Castlevania for the 3DS. Lords of the Shadow, Mirror or Fate. Now, I haven't heard anything about this game either, but I thought, it's got to be good, isn't it? It's got awards from the Best Show Award at E3. Best game of E3. And it's Castlevania. Where can you go wrong? Konami game. So, yeah, I had to pick this up. I love Castlevania. Absolutely brilliant. So I will be opening this up and playing that when I get the time. Fantasy Life. Okay, you could say this is a kiddie game, but it's supposed to be a brilliant game. Animal Crossing. Kiddie game. Brilliant game. Who cares what it's like? It's absolutely brilliant. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. Absolutely huge as well. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. So another really nice 3DS pickup to add to my collection. And last of all, on the handheld side of things, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown. This was another charity shop, £2. I think I probably would like this version because it is kind of the retro top-down style-y. It's got the poster in there. Let's have a look at the poster, guys. So we've got a lovely Japanese prostitute or killer on this side and the map on that side. But I don't mind that because it's kind of done with a retro theme about it. So I think I would probably like that. Yeah, that's Grand Theft Auto China Wars. So is that it on the games? I've got a load of PS1 games, which I got off one of these Facebook groups. There's Metal Gear Solid there and Resident Evil 2. I probably will be moving these on. So if any of you guys are PS1 fans, we've got Tomb Raider, which I'll probably keep. That's what I've got it for. Resident Evil 2, Metal Gear Solid, Wipeout. I'd rather do a bulk deal on the whole lot, to be honest with you. Porsche Challenge, Destruction Derby 2, Medal of Honor 2, Tony Hawk's. That was a brilliant game. Absolutely loved that. V-Rally 2, and the world's scariest police chases. And I actually got the console box with that as well. So that was cool. But I will be moving all of those on because I don't collect PS1 games. I just want the ones I enjoyed back in the day. So I'm just going to take a little break now, guys, and then I'm going to show you a nice little figurine that I picked up. Really cool figurine. And some amiibo and this really cool retro console. Obviously Nintendo to show you. So have a little break. Right, next up is a gift from a good friend of mine, Alan Chan, who actually gave this to me last year in the summertime. And I forgot to thank him. It's an arcade stick for the NES and a really cool one. I should have actually played Gunsmoke with this, actually. I forgot I had it. I was just shifting some stuff around in the games and I thought, blimey, I forgot about this. It's really, really cool, really well made. It's some sort of third party jobby, but it's really, really nice, guys. Look at this. Really well made, nice stick, nice height, nice buttons. It's just got a nice style about it. Really like it. Really well made. It's really heavy as well. I don't like light arcade sticks because I'm quite heavy-handed. I sort of move them around. This one really sticks to the surface. So thanks for that, mate. And I will be using this. In fact, I'll use it in the gameplay video right at the end of this one, okay? See, I don't know how you pronounce that, but there you go, guys. Look out for it. You can get these quite cheaply. They're not that expensive. Really well made. Better than the Nintendo in-house ones, I think. Definitely. So that was really, really cool. Next up is my amiibos. I know I said I'd never get any more amiibos. I was only going for the Smash range. I'm still waiting for Bayonetta, Cloud, and who's the other guy? Corin. I think we're going to get Corin as well. That's what I think they're going to do. They're going to bring that Super Smash Brothers box set out with those amiibos, hopefully in the springtime. But I had to get these, and I know I've already got this Wolf amiibo for the Twilight Princess box set, but I wanted to keep that one sealed. I know, Dave, I said I'd open them all. I will be opening this one though. In fact, let's open it now, guys. Let's have a look. Now, the reason why I've got this is you can use this in the new up-and-coming Breath of the Wild Zelda game. And that's why I got a second one, because I thought I want to use it in that. And it's a really cool figure, and I think they look really, really cool out of the box. Well, they all look cool out of the box. If you haven't had it out of the box, this is what it looks like. Real nice detail on there, guys. Look at that. Lovely amiibo. Isn't that cool? They're all well made. So really chuffed to get that. That's going to go up on my shelf. And then we've got Toon Link. This is all part of the 30th anniversary of Zelda. So let's open him up. Let's have a look at Toon Link. I do like the figures. You know, I used to collect Citadel miniatures back in the day. In fact, I've still got one of them up here. I've got a whole box of Citadel miniatures still up in the loft. There's my Cyclops out of Sinbad, the Seventh Voyage. 1979, that figure. I actually painted that as well. Isn't that cool? Painted that when I was 15. I've got a load of them upstairs. I'd like to get them out on display actually, just don't have a room for it. So this is Toon Link. Out of my favourite Zelda game, which is Wind Waker. Absolutely brilliant game. And I love that character as well. Kiddie game? I don't think so. Some of those levels, the mechanics and level design in Wind Waker are absolutely some of the best I've ever encountered in any Zelda, in any game. They're just brilliantly well made levels. But look at that character, look at that amiibo. Isn't that cool? So really chuffed to get that and get it out of the box. Next up is the sort of 8-bit Zelda. Again, part of the 30th anniversary of Zelda. Let's open him up. I've got the 8-bit Mario, so I thought I've got to get the 8-bit Zelda as well. Here he is. He does look a bit odd with that nose though. Look at that nose. Because obviously you don't see that, do you? In the game. But that is cool, isn't it? So yeah, really chuffed with that. Really, really cool. So some lovely amiibos there. Really, really chuffed with that. Now next up, guys, is a figure I got for £60 on eBay. It's not a First for Figures figure, but you'd think that by looking at the box. It's a Ganondorf figure. Comes in a lovely box. Look at the box art on that. He's a great character. A great sort of nemesis in the Zelda series. He's got that kind of whole Japanese samurai look about him, which I like, you know, the old school traditional samurai look. I've already got him out of the box, which I'll show you in a minute, but that is the box. Now, I don't know what the company is, but obviously it's made in China, but it is got the Nintendo seal of approval. So it's a third-party maker. Dark Horse Comics. I think that's it. Yeah, Dark Horse Deluxe. That's the company. It's got it on the side there. Look. But wait till you see the figure. He's about, I would say, about 12 inches, maybe a little bit taller than that. But have a look at this, guys. So yeah, I don't know if you can get a kind of comparison with an amiibo. That's the kind of size he is. And he's just so well made. And I just love his kind of pose. Isn't that cool? Nice detail on the cloak there. Really heavy, really well made. And I've heard, you know, I've seen a lot of videos. I'm always looking at First with Figures. There's some that are really cool, I really like, but they're too big. And especially with the Metroid ones, the arms kind of fall off. They're not well made at all. They just don't slot in very well, don't fix very well. This just feels really well made. And it's all in one piece. You haven't got to slot it together or anything like that. But really chuffed to get that. I would just like one more figure, and that would probably be, well, no, it's probably more than one. I'd like a Bayonetta. I'd like a Zelda. And I would actually like a Metroid Samus. A Zero Suit Samus. About this size as well. But for £60, I thought this was a deal. I think First for Figures, I know they only make a limited amount of them, but the prices are just a little bit too much for me. Saying that, I mean, I paid 300 odd quid for that Metroid gunship. But, you know, if it's a game you like, it's a character you like, then why not, you know. So yeah, what do you think of that, guys? It's pretty cool, isn't it? 60 quid, ain't bad, is it? So that is all my pickups except for the NES console, which I'm going to show you now. It is a special deluxe set, which actually Retro Dave Nintendo sent me a link to. He said, look at this, £109, a NES deluxe set. Now, normally they go for about £300, so it's sort of the Mattel version, which is supposed to be the first version. Well, what I didn't realise until I brought this, and Dave actually sent me a link, that it could be even rarer than the Mattel version, an earlier version. So I researched it, and it turns out it was true. It's right. It is a model that came out before the Mattel version. So this was kind of like a test market piece they sent to New York and LA. They did this as well with the PC Engine. They did like a test market version just to test the water and see if it was going to be popular and successful. And then after that, obviously, they got good feedback, and then they brought out the Mattel version. So this version I'm about to show you now, guys, is the very first version of the NES Deluxe box set. Now, for 109 quid, I thought that's a bargain. Whatever, it's boxed, it's got Rob the Robot on it, but it turned up in a bin bag, a black bin bag. So obviously the guy didn't know what he was selling, and he had masking tape round it, and then round the box inside as well. So I was a little bit gutted, but then I just thought to myself, 109 quid, you can't complain. So I thought I'd get the show you a picture. But of course, I get this on it. I thought it would get the masking tape off. This only really gets labels off, like paper labels off with the glue underneath. But masking tape is plastic on top, so it doesn't really get through the plastic. I gave it a go. It did help, but it didn't do as good a job as what it would do on a paper label. But this stuff is good, guys, but it's not that great on masking tape. So unfortunately, peeling it off did take a little bit of the paint off the box, but still I'm pleased. For 109 quid delivered, can't argue with this. So let's have a look at this, guys. Right, here it is, guys, the NES Deluxe box set, the New York test market version, and I got this for £109 plus £8 P&P, which is crazy when you think about it, but it did just turn up in a bin bag wrapped with masking tape. And you can see here where I've taken the masking tape off. Unfortunately, it's taken a bit of paintwork off with it, but it's not too bad on the front. The bottom here's got a lot of wear, where it's just been sitting probably in some damp. And on the reverse side, the back side, not in bad condition at all. So what is the difference? Well, you've got three versions of the deluxe box sets. You've got this version I didn't know about, which is the New York test market version, which this probably would have gone out to stores in New York and LA as well. They did it with a PC Engine just to test the market, see if it was going to do well. Then they started production and got Mattel to do the distributing of it afterwards. And you can tell because basically it hasn't got, the Mattel version would have the Mattel badge here, which it hasn't got. And the normal version that came after the Mattel version, the layout of this text here is different. I think it says Entertainment System further up here. And on the back, the layout of these pictures here are different. I think there's a row of other pictures that come down here on the deluxe and on the, you know, the normal edition. So that's how you would tell, basically. Other than that, there is no difference. Inside, everything should be exactly the same. It's just a slight different box variant, and that's all. That's how you can tell, which is incredible, really. But it's nice to have a bit of history, and for 109 quid, you know, I'm not complaining, really, because it's pretty much complete. Well, I say that. I mean, it's missing the gun, and it's missing the games, but other than that, the robot's complete, with all the bits and bobs that goes with Rob the Robot. The polystyrene's got that typical broken ends where people have tried to pull it out of the box, unfortunately. But I'm not going to get it all out, guys, because it is so fragile, this. I really don't like taking it out, but there it is. Look, there's Rob the Robot and the NES. So this is an American one, NTSC. And it's got a few leaflets in here. How to set up your entertainment system and your cleaning kit, but it doesn't have the Rob the Robot one. But it's got all the bits there, look, for the Rob. It's just missing the game, and it was missing the gun. But I did acquire recently on eBay, only this week actually, where is it, the gun, the Mattel gun, or the first edition gun, which is grey. Now I do have a Mattel gun actually up here, box. I didn't want to use this one because it's boxed. So this is the first one, it's grey. You probably have the red one, and there you can see the little red Mattel badge there, which would have been the first edition one, except for this one obviously. So that's it, guys. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's just nice to have this in the collection. I'm going to get the games for it, so I'm going to get it complete, and that's it. I'm not going to sell this. It's just a lovely piece of Nintendo history for me to have in my collection. Really, really nice, because I did own the Mattel one, and I only sold it last year, funny enough, because I was buying a SNES game I wanted, but I did regret selling it. I mean, I'm glad I got this back for the price that I got it at. So yeah, really, really cool. Well, unfortunately, guys, I've run out of time to do a gameplay. I've got so much little space left on my phone, and I've got to keep it clear for tomorrow because I'm doing the game room tour tomorrow. I've only got a couple of hours left of this evening, so I just want to finish off with a Q&A, if you don't mind. A couple of questions, not many. So guys, if you want to do Q&A, if you want to ask me something, I'm quite happy to ask a few questions. Don't want to make a big segment out of it, but you know, nice to answer a few questions, which is pretty cool. So first up from Craig. Craig's here again, top bloke. He asked me, retro gaming, has it become too mainstream? Well, that's a funny one. I had to think a little bit about this question, because I see gaming going in the same way that music's going. Music had its golden era, for me anyway, from the sort of 60s up to the 2000s, right? After that, I lost interest because it all kind of sounded the same. The production all sounded the same, and there just didn't seem to be any more talent left in the music. And so what I started doing was going back and discovering music that I missed out on back in the day, because we were a bit silly and a bit naive in the 80s. You know, we had to be part of a clan, part of a scene. So you're either in the punk or the heavy metal or the rock. I was a total rocker, but I did love the the early Britpop synth scene. But I guess I was a little bit too young to appreciate it, and so I kind of missed out on quite a lot. And I'm really enjoying going back and discovering new songs, new artists from the very early 80s and late 70s. So I kind of see gaming doing the same thing, to be honest with you. I see a lot of young kids, especially, getting into the hobby, obviously pushing prices up, and also see a lot of older people my age getting into the hobby, rediscovering their youth. But it's like music, you know, there's loads of games there that were either too expensive to play back in the day, because you couldn't afford that many. I know they're expensive now, but there are ways of playing it on emulation, and you can pick up good deals, as I've shown you in today's video with the deluxe box set. So, you know, it is nice to go out there and find hidden gems that you've never played before, which you have no nostalgia with. So in that sense, you know, it has become, the retro scene has become bigger. I don't think it's become mainstream. I still think, you know, that people still want the latest stuff, especially kids. I'm in sort of the arcade scene, as you know. I'm also do this YouTube channel, so I'm in with you guys that appreciate all the SNES stuff. But the arcade scene's quite small, really, when you think about it. When you're in it, it feels bigger, but when you go on the forums and stuff like that, you realise actually it's quite a small community. But it has grown. It definitely has grown in the last 10 years. And it has become a lot more trendy. You know, go up to London, bars are opening up and people want arcade machines. And they'll pay any price to get a Donkey Kong in their bar. You know, they just want it now. And they've got the money to pay for it now. But, yeah, I mean, it has definitely got bigger. I don't think it's mainstream, but I definitely think the retro scene has definitely grown. I don't think it'll ever level off. I think it will keep growing. Especially with the sort of physical copies. People still want that. People still want a box and a manual. I do. I love it. You know, I really do miss that in modern games, the manual and stuff. But gaming has changed so much, and I think it is going to reach, the modern game is going to reach a sort of plateau. And I think it does need a new medium to take it somewhere else. You know, like with 3D gaming, when the polygons started coming in, early polygons, and we look back at it now, the N64, and it looks naff, doesn't it? And, you know, we might look back at some of these modern games, the 360 games, PS2 games, in the same sort of way. But I really do think for gaming to survive, it has to find maybe a new medium, like virtual reality. I think once they've nailed that, and I still don't think they have. I mean, I've played virtual reality, I've played the PS4, and I played the Resident Evil demo. And it was absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed it, actually, and I'm actually thinking of getting it just for that, because I really did like that. It's really, really good. So if they can nail that, then I think gaming can take another step further. But retro gaming will always be there, and it will have its own little place. But I don't think it's become mainstream, no. But thanks for your question, Craig. Well, that was a long answer, wasn't it? But yeah, it was a difficult one to think about, really. Next up is from AZZT72. He asked me, what event should I attend this year? Well, number one, you've got to attend Replay, because I haven't got the date for it yet, but the plan is to do the Sky Skipper project there, the reveal there. I'm doing one in America. The dates for that are going to be up very soon. But that's the main one for me. That will be in October. I will be there. And we are going to have some very special guests there as well, which is going to be absolutely awesome. I can't go into too much detail right now because we haven't got them. We haven't got them signing the book yet. But when they have, we've got their name down and it's all set, I will announce it. But yeah, October, Manchester Replay, mate. That is going to be the one. Revival is always a good one. I'm always there. I try and make as many events as I can. Margate. Replay at Margate's pretty cool. You got Nerg up north there. That's a good one, run by Phil. But that's just so far for me. It's like 7-8 hours in the van. It's such a good event, but it's just so far. Other than that, I mean, if you want to sort of hook up with other mates, sort of gaming meets, you've got to get on UK VAC and start getting your name about on the forum, and then, you know, you can get in with people and they'll invite you around to meets, because a lot of meets go on that I don't advertise, obviously, but I've got lots of friends that hold meets at their houses, and it's a great day. You have barbecue, just play arcade games all day, and it's brilliant fun. So if you want to do that kind of thing, the arcade scene, you've got to get on UK VAC. Other than that, guy, mate, you know, you've just got to go to Replay, Revival, but definitely make Replay for the Sky Skipper project. Anyway, that is it, mate. That is it. That's all the questions, not many. Give us some more, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Game Room Tour will be the next one. Look out for that. Cheers. See you later.